Hello everybody, this is Chaos with NoDiceGaming and Chaos Esports Productions bringing you tonight's Showmatch. We have KellerMaN going up against AkaRi, and this is going to be another NoDiceGaming Showmatch. We've got $100 on the line for this best of 7. Let's go ahead and introduce our players. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner for NoDiceGaming in the blue trunks, it is going to be AkaRi. And spawning in the upper left-hand corner in the red trunks, it is going to be NoDiceGaming's KellerMaN. So we've got a ZVP here on Daedalus Point. This will be map number 1. Pretty typical format. We will see basically whoever wins the game will not get to pick the map. The loser will get to pick the map, and so on and so forth, just like any other tournament or Clan War-esque type game. So, PvZ on this map. Now, this map is actually very, very treacherous for our Protoss players, considering we do have a very, very wide open natural ramp. That tends to be the biggest contention about this map. A lot of times players will be going for you know, kind of aggressive builds as far as being the Protoss player. So we do have a scout coming out from AkaRi, and it looks like I've got a little bit of lag here. I'm not sure what exactly is going on. It could be the fact that I am recording this and streaming it live at the same time. So anyways, drone's going to come in here, pretty much not really get a whole lot of information. I'm not exactly sure why he drone scouted. You don't typically see a drone scout on this map, but anyways, he is going to go ahead and plant down his hatchery first, and he knows that he's got a little bit of early potential for aggression just because it was a gateway expand as opposed to the typical Forge Fast expand. Forge Fast expand usually isn't seen on this map simply because of this ramp. It's very, very hard to get a solid wall off. A lot of times, you know, you'll have a single pylon here, maybe a pylon down here, and it kind of ends up turning into this kind of diagonal wall that actually extends all the way out here. So, KellerMaN is going to go ahead and send out his drone or his probe to go take a look-see as far as what's going on. Going to be checking on that third base, making sure his opponent's not going to be doing anything too greedy. But we do see AkaRi's spawning pool go ahead and get planted down. So things are starting to progress out. But like I said, this show match is to kind of feature some of the NoDiceGamings and get them exposed to the outside world as players. NoDiceGaming recently started up in January, so they're still trying to get their name out there, get some of their players a little bit more noticed. Now, KellerMaN I know is probably playing from Korea, as well as I believe AkaRi is as well. So it'll be interesting to see how the lag ends up during this game, whether or not either player is going to experience any issues. So, anyways, so we got the Cybernetics core is actually being chrono boosted, so it does look like KellerMaN does want to be a little bit on the aggressive side during this early game, which is pretty interesting. You know, kind of typical as mentioned earlier. You know, normally we see a very, very aggressive Protoss player just because it is so hard to hold this natural. You know, the ramp definitely poses to be quite an issue. So AkaRi is going to happily go ahead and take his third, playing a little bit more on the macro side. Is definitely going to be droning up probably for another minute or so here, and then we'll probably start to see him round off his tech, maybe get some gases, and look to head towards that lair. Now, one thing that is kind of surprising, I know as a when I play Zerg, I tend to go for a very, very early speed. I find it to be a little bit more flexible. You get a little bit more map presence, and overall, it's just kind of a nice little added bonus. So he is going to actually get in with a handful of single ling. Gonna get a little bit of gonna take out a couple probes. So that ling is definitely being very pesky. Really surprised that he hasn't like pulled out his zealot, because that single zergling is definitely doing more than enough damage to pay for himself. So. Yeah, he is going to get that that probe. So yeah, very nice little, I don't even want to call that anything special. It was just a single ling doing his thing. Anyways, we do have a spore crawler coming out of AkaRi. I'm not sure if he's a little bit leery as far as what's going on. If we take a look at his vision, he did scout the Twilight Council, so he's a little bit worried about Dark Templars coming into his base. Going to go ahead and get up a handful, or a Spore Crawler, just minimize any of that potential damage that could bring. So, meanwhile, he is going to happily continue on getting his creep spread out, doing a very good job so far. Just now connecting up his third base, and probably should start working on connecting his main and his natural here shortly. Still pretty minimal on gas. He's only got the 2 gas so far, but his Roach Warren is down, so he could be going for a Roach Ling type timing. Maybe throw down that Baneling Nest fairly quick. And then again, at the same time, he is going to go ahead and throw it in 2 Evolution Chambers so to get his upgrades going. So, and this is kind of one of the things I mentioned earlier. You know, the wall is very, very difficult to get, you know, something really solid up here. You know, you got 2 main points of contention, the pylons being the weakest buildings. Very easily, you know, get a couple Banelings up in to take those down and pretty much flood in Lings. So, Ling's Speed going to be finishing up here very, very shortly. And wow, this creep is starting to spread quite a bit. Meanwhile, we do have a myriad of gateways going down for KellerMaN. So KellerMaN's like, you know, time to start putting on the heat, turning up burners, and getting things going. Now, AkaRi has a pretty nice scout coming in. Sees the continued upgrade. The continued upgrades going now. Looks like KellerMaN tried to push out a little bit, didn't quite get too much accomplished. Just checking on that creep, getting an idea of what he's going to be dealing with. I mean, he sees the creeps already pretty far sped. Now, he does have a pylon already down here at the bottom hand portion of the map, and is going to be able to do a fair amount of warp-ins down there. Now, Lings are coming in here trying to get some damage done, as they will take out those 3 Zealots. More units being warped in here for KellerMaN, and obviously going to be able to hold that off for now. 14 more Lings out on the way. Now, I'm a little bit confused. So he got the Roach Warren down pretty early, and kind of, you know, a lot of times if you're going to go ahead and plant down the Roach Warren, you might as well try... Ooh, is that going to get scouted? Yeah, that pylon is going to get scouted, so he knows that some aggression could potentially come his way, but that will get cleaned up now. Is going to barely not scout that pylon down here in the lower right. And that is actually going to be a big deal, because without knowing that that's coming, it's going to be really, really difficult for him to see any type of counterattacks coming. Now, he is going to get... The third base is going to get denied pretty much immediately. And KellerMaN really needs to start thinking about doing a push-out, as he's finally getting his stalkers up. I am going to have to figure out what the deal is with my encoder, because I'm not sure why I'm lagging as much as I am. Anyways, so KellerMaN's going to try and push out. Ooh, going to catch a handful of these Lings off guard. And, okay. AkaRi now knows what's up. He sees this pylon, and he's like, yep, need to take care of that, as he is going to go ahead and just send a handful of Lings to try and deal with that at the time. Now, there are a lot of Lings out here. I mean, 36 more on the way, Hive Tech coming up, so it does look like he's going to be fighting to get that Ling Ultra out, but the question is will there be enough time? Very, very aggressive Ling forward coming in. Ling streaming across, getting a very, very nice round, but is there enough, though? Stalker's going to blink out of that. Pretty minimal damages so far, but it looks like he's going to try and get another surround. More Stalkers are getting picked off left and right. More Stalkers are being warped in. And I'd say KellerMaN's in a little bit of an issue. The Mothership Core is going to go ahead and go down. Ling streaming in, trying to get as much surface area as possible, but it just looks like all of these Lings are too much, and KellerMaN is going to go ahead and call GG, and that is going to be the end of game number 1 of this best of 7. So stay tuned.